Happy 2 weeks out. I got the most crazy muscle spasm yesterday. I was completely out. Like, it was a Sunday, luckily. I couldn't walk. I actually went to a massage and was hoping to walk home and hoping it would make it feel better. And I walked for like 10 minutes and it was like I couldn't walk. So what happened is my psoas, it's just completely tightened up. Luckily we have a bar at home, so I was like hanging a ton and stretching, doing like up dogs and cobra pose. Like, it's hard to do those poses right now, which is so crazy as a yoga teacher. It's like stuff that I would never think is even considered stretching. But I'm so tight there. So I've been like sitting in seal pose, hanging. I've been using a nice little like psoas tool that my friend Ange brought me over, thankfully. So I'm trying to release it. I feel a lot better today. I honestly stretched yesterday for like 6 hours. Not super intense, but like just doing little bits, taking a break. And I'm so glad I did. I feel so much better. So crazy how these things can happen. You know, I'm someone who thinks, oh, I teach yoga, every week. I definitely get a lot of mobility in. But like, I haven't been hanging for 60 seconds, like I only hang at the gym for like 30 seconds and only a couple times. And even my stretching, like I just hold pigeon stretch a little bit, but like I'm not doing full body stretching like how I usually would, because it's just time is really hard to manage right now with all the things on my checklist. But clearly it's affected me, so I really need to prioritize more of my mobility work and put time in for that. Because how I felt yesterday, I just thought, I'm like, I'm worrying about getting my steps and doing my cardio and getting my training in. But I'm like, but if I can't walk on show day, I can't compete. So it's like mobility is more important than all these other things. And luckily I'm at a weight right now that like I don't need to lose any more weight. Like I'm at a good place. So I think I weighed in at 56.5 kilos. And I think this is kind of where we'll be hanging out a bit at. Maybe I'll get to 55 kilos, but yeah, there's no point in me skipping my mobility just so that I can get something else in to help me lose weight. So that is my goal this week. It's still going and training. I might do a deload session. My upper body feels fine, so I'll do deload session, but everything's connected in the body. So I'm not going to push super hard, and I'm going to make sure that I hang in between like every single thing. If you guys don't know, the psoas is a muscle that's connected from like the spine into your hips. So that's why hanging is so important. It's like if you're hanging, you're releasing through the spine. It's all connected. It's a really important stretch to do. It's why I talk about hanging all the time. I've had people say like, what's the importance of it? And it's like, everything's holistic. Like if a muscle's attached to anywhere that's attached to your spine, like the hanging is going to help a ton. So I'm definitely going to be doing a ton of that. I've got cardio today and upper, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, it might be just doing like a fast walk for my cardio. I don't know, it depends how my legs feel. I'll show you what I'm eating as well. I recently, as in like 3 days ago, decided that I was going to be following my coach's meal plan instead of what I was doing. It's funny, as a nutritionist, I would never give someone the meal plan that I have been doing for myself, but I have been making myself be far more strict than I needed to, mainly because of convenience. I was just like wanting to do the most simple thing for myself because I'm lazy in that way. But yeah, I looked at his meal plan and I'm like, this is so much better. And now that I'm 2 weeks out and I'm starting to get a little bit like, over the whole prep thing, I was like, if I just change my meal plan, it will probably be more exciting. And it has been. It's been so much more exciting now because I'm getting like 3 different types of protein in the day, tons of different veg in the day that I wouldn't have made myself have. So yeah, I'm really happy about it. So I'll show you what my meal plan is today for a training day, which is a little bit different than what I usually do. So I'm with my little Maya babe all day. So we'll show you around at 2 weeks out. Okay, so meal 1 is oats with zucchini, salt, frozen blueberries. I also have 15 grams of almond butter. And a little squeeze of this. It's fucking good, this thing. I'm legit sitting like this because I want to be stretching my psoas at all times. And if I sit, that's like when it starts to hurt more. So I'm literally just leaning at Maya's table eating my breakfast.
You melt the ice behind my stone cold eyes. I turn to ashes, but only just sometimes. Inhale your smoke, but you still act surprised. It's not my fault when we end up capsized. You call me crazy now, but you don't understand. I'm calling out to you. Can you hear a thing? 'Cause you lit the match that ignites the flame. I'm the TNT, but you're the spark to blame. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain. Feel the fire, heat that melts us down again. Now it's pouring through my veins, but I said you're the spark to blame. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain. Some days with you it's paradise, but now you spin me in a web with all your lies. Want you to feel the way I feel inside. I'm reaching out for help, you got me in a riptide. You call me crazy now, but you don't understand. I'm calling out to you. Can you hear a thing? 'Cause you lit the match that ignites the flame. I'm the TNT, but you're the spark to blame. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain. Feel the fire, heat that melts us down again. Now it's pouring through my veins, but I said you're the spark to blame. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain. Yeah, please just blow this flame away. And I hold on for rainy days. It feels like a decade, just please come and save me. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain. Feel the fire, heat that melts us down again. Now it's pouring through my veins, but I said you're the spark to blame. And it's fire, burning holes inside my brain.
Okay, so meal 2 is a little bit late. It's a 11:30 in the morning. Usually I try to eat at like 10:30. Anyways, 100 grams of cottage cheese blended with 25 grams of protein powder, 50 grams banana, and then I squeeze that sugar-free caramel sauce on top. Yum! Okay, so I just got Maya down for a nap. It's almost 1, so I'm going to have my meal number 3. What I have in here is some jasmine rice. I have 80 grams of jasmine rice in here. My meal plan called for 100, but I had a bite of Maya's croissant when we were at gymnastics. It happens. I prefer to strive to be adaptable rather than perfectionism. That's in like all areas of my life. So, not ideal that I had that bite, but I try to fix it. And I feel like doing this proves to myself that I can adhere to a plan even if I make a mistake. You know, like that mentality of like all or nothing, or as soon as you make a mistake, everything's done. That mentality has never served me in my life. So, yeah, so it's okay for me to do this. So, I'm adding 5 grams of soy sauce. I'm gonna add 50 grams of cut spinach. So, like 2 handfuls. I'm gonna do half tomato. I'm just gonna, just because I want to use this, I'm gonna do like 30 grams of, maybe it's gonna be like 50 grams, 45 grams of lettuce, and then some salt and a can of tuna. Just mix all the lettuce with the rice. So for a while I was using mayo and I was like using calories for sauces. But I kind of like that my coach's plan doesn't have that because you don't realize like how much you waste your calories on sauces. So I much rather have food than mayo. Of course, if you have room for calories for sauces, so worth it. But it's just in my case, I'm trying to like use as much food as I can for calories rather than have liquid calories. And of tuna. So, you know how earlier I was saying about my psoas and my hip, my, spine being all tight. The training, you can see I did a deload, so I didn't train as hard. And I also prioritized a lot of mobility work. For me, the difference between stretching and mobility, like when I say mobility instead of stretching, mobility to me is like more intentional. It's like calling it exercising versus training. To me, training is like a bit more serious. It's a bit more tracked with progressive overload. You're striving to be better every day by even 1%, where exercise is kind of just like showing up and being active. That's my interpretation. For me, it's the same with stretching. Like stretching or passive mobility is kind of just like hanging out in a stretch. And to be fair, that's what I did yesterday. And that was important. Like I needed that recovery, relaxing stretching that I could do for like 5 hours the whole day. Where today at the gym, I did what I consider mobility. And that means that I was doing stretching with weights that was more intense. So I was doing like Jefferson hangs or Jefferson curls. I was hanging with my body weight with my feet not on the floor. Like I was really trying to put weight into the stretch because it just gives me a bigger release. And I think that that is super valuable, especially given the way my body was. Like yesterday, I was, if 100% meant I couldn't walk, I was at like 80%. Like I was hobbling. I was hardly able to walk. Couldn't lift my leg, like that strength with my hip flexor wasn't available. And today, if I could say, I probably am at about 20%. Like I still have a little bit of a limp, but it's manageable. And I'll just keep stretching. I'll keep moving on it today, and hopefully in 2 days it will be completely resolved. I noticed a few stretches I definitely need to prioritize a bit more, a couch stretch and lizard and pigeon stretch. So I'll be doing those a heap, but also just a ton of hanging is really important. I'm gonna crack some salt and pepper onto this to give it some flavor. And the rice already had that 5 grams of soy sauce. So that will be me. But there's still a lot of people who are quite scared to move when they feel pain. And so I don't mean pain like an injury, like breaking a bone, of course, you need to listen to your rehab specialist and deal with that. But I'm talking something hurts in your hip because it's tight. And then we say, oh, I need to rest it. I would say more often than not, that rest doesn't help it. At least in my own experience, the rest doesn't help. A little bit of rest is okay, like I'm talking a few hours. But if I didn't stretch and move the way that I did yesterday, I wouldn't be in the condition I am today. Like at the gym today, I still did 30 minutes on the stairs, but I just reduced the pace to like a level 6 to 9, where usually I do a level 10 to 13, you know? And felt really easy. I hardly broke a sweat. I still was moving though, and I was feeling like the stretch as I was walking, and it was really good for that hip. And then of course afterwards I did all of that mobility work that I just showed you, and I feel great. Like, movement is so important for us. We are meant to move. And if you're ever feeling like an injury, not like an intense one, let's say, like please see a specialist, of course. But I mean, me being, you know, an acupuncturist, a PT, a yoga teacher, like I understand my body really well. And for me, it's always moving into the sensations that helps release that problem more often than not. And so if I had a tight psoas, so for me, I had to be like stretching, opening up, but then also like strengthening work is good for it too. Like it's both a combination of strength and stretch that we need to do to recover that muscle. It just depends on the situation. So anyways, just a little spiel about moving through sensation. I think we're too quick to call it pain sometimes. And really, it might not be pain, it might just be tight. And tight needs a release, not rest. Here's the finished product. Yum, yum, yum. I'm gonna eat this and check on some clients. This is supposed to have sauerkraut in it, but we ran out. So it's 110 grams of beef mince, 10%, and it's 200 grams of potato. And Maya's having the exact same thing. Do you like your yummy meat?
Yeah.
You like your potatoes?
Yeah.
Yay. Good morning. That's going to conclude our video today. I'm just with Maya now. We're going to drop her off for daycare, and I'm going to go train at the gym. We'll see you guys next week for 1 week out peak week.